The International Growth Centre is a research centre based at the London School of Economics and Political Science in partnership with the University of Oxford. The IGC was launched in December 2008 and it is funded by the Department for International Development. The IGC is led by Professor Jonathan Leape, Executive Director, and Directors Professor Robin Burgess and Professor Sir Paul Collier. The IGC Steering Group, which also includes Chang-Tai Hsieh, Timothy Besley, and Anthony Venables, provides strategic direction. The IGC runs 15 country offices in 14 partner states and directs a global network of over 1,000 researchers. IGC research is based around 4 research themes: state, firms, cities, and energy. These research programs are led by 10 research program directors. Since its foundation, the IGC has supported over 650 research projects. The IGC has also responded to specific government requests for advice in countries such as Malawi, Afghanistan, and Sri Lanka. IGC country programs are led by country directors working with dedicated lead academics, supported by locally based country economists. IGC country program teams are based in the offices of think tanks or government bodies within the relevant country. IGC researchers include Esther Duflo, Nicholas Bloom, Rachel Glenister, Lant Pritchett, John Van Rienen, Nicholas Stern, Dean Carlin, Edward Miguel, and Maurice Obstfeld. Country programs. For each partner country, the IGC supports a team of resident economists who respond to specific policy demands on issues of economic growth. This covers applied economic analysis, long-term research and policy engagement activities, as well as rapid responses to pressing policy questions. The IGC Bangladesh program was established in 2009. It is currently hosted in the BRAC University Institute of Governance and Development. The program focuses on 5 areas of research: I. State effectiveness; E. Firm capabilities; E. Food security; IV. Infrastructure development; and V. Sustainable urbanization in Bangladesh. Professor Mushfiq Mubarak serves as lead academics for IGC Bangladesh. In 2014, IGC country researcher and former caretaker government advisor, Wafaduddin Mahmood addressed an IGC co-hosted conference at BRAC University on the issue of dysfunctional governance in Bangladesh. The IGC Ethiopia program was established in 2010, in partnership with the Ethiopian Development Research Institute. IGC Ethiopia focuses on the following research areas: industrial development, urbanization, developing agriculture, youth unemployment, and state effectiveness. In 2014, IGC Ethiopia jointly sponsored a small grant scheme for junior researchers with the Ethiopian Economics Association. In 2012, a study of youth unemployment in Ethiopia was conducted by the IGC, which found that whilst unemployment in urban areas remains widespread, it has declined greatly since 1999. The same study also found that women have not benefited as much as men from reductions in unemployment. The IGC Ghana program was initiated in 2009. It is led by Dr. Ni Isoa, Dr. Sam Mensah, and lead academic and Professor Christopher Sudri. IGC Ghana has funded research in areas such as macroeconomic stability, agricultural productivity, private sector development, education and skills acquisition, and natural resource management. IGC Ghana is based at the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research at the University of Ghana. The IGC, in partnership with the Ministry of Finance of Ghana and the Bank of Ghana, organized the Africa Growth Forum 2014, which brought together policymakers, academics, and researchers to discuss issues relating to the Ghanaian economy. The IGC Bihar program was initiated in 2009. It is hosted by the Asian Development Research Institute in Patna, India. IGC Bihar has funded research on literacy, vocational training, economic policy, and public finance. In 2014, the organization organized the Bihar Growth Conference, which was attended by the Chief Minister of Bihar, Jitan Ram Manji, who has also attended the IGC Growth Week 2014 in London. The IGC India Central Programme was launched in April 2010. The team is led by Dr. Pranab Sen, Professor Dilip Mukherjee and Professor Eswar Prasad. It is based within the Indian Statistical Institute in Delhi, India. The IGC India Central Team also manages Ideas for India, a web-based economic and policy blog. In 2013, the IGC South Asia Growth Conference was held in Delhi, which addressed schooling, public sector and program design, macroeconomics and finance, firms and investment, and health. The IGC Liberia program focuses on 4 themes: strengthening state capabilities, natural resource management, macroeconomic management, and urbanization. Following initial engagement in 2011 and consultations with Liberian stakeholders in 2012, IGC officially established its Liberia office in February 2013, based in the Ministry of State without portfolio. Liberia's Minister for Commerce and Industry, Axel M. Adi, spoke as part of IGC Growth Week 2014 in London. The IGC Mozambique program was established in October 2010. IGC Mozambique's research agenda has developed around 3 broad themes: private sector development, state effectiveness, and the development of agriculture. IGC Mozambique is directed by its 2 lead academics, Dr. Sandra Siqueira and Pedro Vicente. The IGC has organized several events in Mozambique, including a workshop on management practices in the manufacturing sector, and a forum on economic growth. The IGC Myanmar program began in 2012. It operates in partnership with Myanmar Development Resource Institute, Center for Economic and Social Development, and has researched subjects including labor regulation and natural resource management. The organization has also projected revenue receipts for the Internal Revenue Department in Myanmar with its partners. The IGC Pakistan program was initiated in 2010. It is based within the Lahore University of Management Sciences and is guided by Dr. Idris Nabi, Dr. Naved Hamid, Dr. Ali Chima and Dr. Azam Khwaja. The program currently focuses on 5 policy areas for growth: macroeconomic management, state capabilities, firm capabilities, urbanization and energy. It is currently working closely with the governments of Punjab, Pakistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa on medium-term economic planning. Research funded by the IGC into the Pakistan football-making industry found that despite supplying firms with cost-cutting technology, take-up rates of the new technology were low due to misaligned incentives between workers and the company. The organization has also funded research into low tax collection in Punjab, and successfully instituted a pay-for-performance scheme in Punjab that raised significant tax revenue. The IGC Rwanda program began operations in November 2010, at the request of President Paul Kagame. It operates under a Memorandum of Understanding with the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, which requires that it produce demand-driven research outputs that strengthen the evidence base for policy making relevant to Rwanda's long-run growth, with a focus on research and analysis under 4 main thematic areas: agriculture, infrastructure, macroeconomic policy and finance, and trade and industry. The IGC IGC participated in a Rwanda Research Roundtable in 2014 as part of its partnership with the Rwandan government. A joint NAB-IGC study on the Rwandan coffee sector found that Rwandan export revenues are affected by coffee washing stations operating below capacity, with the majority of the washing stations lacking funding. The IGC Sierra Leone program is based at the Center of Policy Studies at the University of Sierra Leone. Its main areas of research are state capabilities, agriculture, and governance. Research conducted by the IGC has found that the number of rice traders in some Ebola-hit areas of Sierra Leone has fallen by nearly 70% between 2012 and late 2014. The economic consequences of Ebola in Sierra Leone are continuing to be monitored by the IGC. The IGC South Sudan program opened in August 2012. The program is structured around three main pillars: responding to crisis, natural resource management, and addressing isolation, diversification, and job creation. The organization has published several studies regarding the oil sector in South Sudan. The IGC Tanzania program was established in 2008, the first in-country program of the IGC. The Tanzania program is headed by Country Director Dr. John Page, Lead Academic Professor Chris Adam, and Senior Country Research and Policy Fellow Dr. Pantaleo Kessi. IGC Tanzania's office is hosted by the Bank of Tanzania, and has so far focused on researching poverty reduction, structural transformation, preparation for monetary union, inflation, and fiscal strategy. Other areas of research include firm capabilities, urbanization, and energy. Professor John Sutton, an IGC researcher, delivered the Gilman Ruti Hinda Memorial Lecture at the Bank of Tanzania and urged the country to integrate local firms into gas multinational supply chains. The IGC Uganda program has been hosted at the Bank of Uganda since it opened in 2012. Its priority areas include natural resource management and monetary policy, the regional integration process, raising income and inclusive growth. IGC Uganda research has included analysis of integration of economic activity within the East African community, the evolution of public expenditure priorities in light of natural resource revenues, and the options and strategies for financing fiscal deficits within the country. IGC research showed that 8 out of 10 Rwandan farmers in the study are not willing to adopt fertilizers as they are perceived as low quality. The IGC Zambia program started in 2010. It established its country office in 2011, located at the Zambian Institute for Policy Analysis and Research. The IGC has collaborated with the Zambian Ministry of Health to test recruitment strategies for health workers in rural areas, which have now been implemented and scaled up by the Zambian government. The IGC has also engaged with the Zambia Revenue Authority research programs. IGC research is focused within 4 research themes: state, firms, cities, and energy. The IGC State Research Program looks at the role of the public sector in economic development. Within the state research theme, the IGC has worked on 364 projects and organized 33 events. The State Research Program is headed by Professor Oriana Bandira, Professor Henrik Cleven, Professor Eliana La Ferreira, and Professor Gerard Padro I. Michael. One IGC state project run by Raj Chetty, Naziruddin Ahmed, Ghulam Hussain, Ahmed Mushfiq Mubarak, Aminia Rahman, and Monica Singhal looked at how social recognition can be used to increase value-added tax revenue in Pakistan. The researchers sent letters to inform firms that the tax compliance behavior would be shared with other firms in their cluster. In a subsequent letter, They hypothesized that this intervention may spur voluntary tax compliance by allowing firms to be recognized by their neighbors and peers. They found that in areas of low tax compliance where less than 15% of firms paid any VAT the previous year, the peer recognition treatment had no significant effect on tax payment rates. However, in areas where at least 15% of firms had paid VAT in 2012, firms who received the peer recognition treatment were 3.4 percentage points more likely to make a payment in the post-intervention period. The IGC firm's research program seeks to understand the forces that determine the productivity of firms. Within the firm's research theme, the IGC has worked on 293 projects and organized 25 events. The IGC's firm's research program is headed by Professor Nicholas Bloom, Professor Tavneets Uri, Professor Christopher Sudri, Professor Eric Verhoeven, Dr. Greg Fisher, Professor Imran Rasool, Professor Andres Rodriguez-Clare, and Professor Christopher Woodruff. An IGC firm's project in Sialkot, Pakistan, one of the world's top producers of footballs, found that employees in factories producing footballs resisted a new technology that limited waste and improved efficiency. Researchers found a new way to cut the football's pentagon panels from sheets of rexine, and they provided football manufacturers with a new cutting pattern and new cutting tools to implement the new design. While one of the largest companies in the city quickly adopted the new technology for almost all its production, few others followed suit. Based on further investigation, the researchers conjectured that take-up was slow because employees were resisting the new technology. Cutters were paid per piece, with no incentive to reduce waste, and were concerned that the new die would slow them down and reduce their incomes. The IGC Cities research program explores the challenges of urbanization in the developing world and the potential of cities to act as drivers of economic growth. The IGC's Cities research program is led by Edward Gleiser and Garrad Bryan. 45 projects and 9 events have been funded through the IGC Cities program. The IGC Energy Research Program analyzes the role that energy plays in shaping the growth of developing countries. Within the energy research theme, the IGC has worked on 55 projects and organized 4 events. The energy program is headed by Professor Michael Greenstone and Professor Nicholas Ryan. Events. The IGC holds a number of events throughout the year with the purpose of discussing a wide range of economic growth-related issues, sharing the findings of its research, and stimulating policy debates within the IGC's 4 thematic focus areas: cities, energy, state effectiveness, and firms. IGC events focus on combining research and policy and feature speakers from IGC's network of researchers and policy makers from Africa and South Asia. The IGC's flagship events are Growth Week, its annual conference in London, and a series of smaller regional and thematic conferences held in the UK, Africa, and South Asia with the aim of forging collaborations between policy makers and academics. In addition, a number of in-country research dissemination and policy events and workshops are held every year. The IGC also holds a number of public lectures at the London School of Economics and Political Science.